Welcome to Bedtime FairyFails. I'm Kim. This story was made possible in part by the live play D&D podcast All D20. We'll tell you a little more about them after the show. This story comes from Jack in Italy. This is a story about a choice between life and death, helping yourself or seizing the glory. This is
No Guts, No Glory.
Once upon a time, a group of heroes were heading into battle. The group was set to fight a secret faction of ice witches they had located. The ice witches lived way off in a frozen land, and our heroes were now trekking through the ice and snow to reach them. Let's meet our frozen party. First, we have Annunciata, the halfling rogue, Axelrod, the elf mage, a cleric named Paracelsius, and last, a dwarf warrior named Ulbabrab. Now, our heroes were headed out to stop these witches because they had been told to by a quest giver. But more specifically, the ice witches were ravaging the lands and even trying to invade the land of our heroes to cover it with snow and ice. A permanent winter where everything is just cold and dead. Doesn't sound like much fun if you're not a Disney princess. So they had to be stopped. The journey to the witch's lair was a difficult one. The snow and ice made their travel slow and super uncomfortable.
Why do they have to be ice witches?
Complains Annunciata.
I hate being cold. Why couldn't it have been tropical witches? Or beach witches?
Axelrod chuckles and says,
We'll be there soon. You'll be fine. Just chill.
As Annunciata rolls her eyes at the bad pun, Ulbabrab stops walking.
Wait,
He says,
I see something.
off in the distance, they could see someone coming towards them. Whoever they were, they didn't look friendly. The group readied themselves for battle as the foes charged towards them. It was a patrol of warriors and their ice wolf companions sent out by the ice witches to stop the heroes in their tracks. The heroes charge ahead to meet them, and the battle begins. Axelrod strikes first, using magic missiles on one of the warriors. He dodges the first two, but gets hit with the third. Then, everything is chaos. Annunciata is stabbing and shooting at everything she can see, while Ulbabrab goes after one with his axe. Paracelsius is alternating between doing damage and trying to heal the rest of the group, but the foes are strong. And soon, he's forced to focus only on healing as our group is taking a beating. He looks over just in time to see Ulbabrab attempt to swing his axe. But by now, the handle was so slick from blood that when he draws it back, it flies out of his hands and is lost in the snow, which left Ulbabrab with nothing but his shield to fight with. The battle goes on for ages, and while our heroes are holding their own, they're also taking some heavy damage. Just then, one of the warriors transformed into a giant ice wolf using a magical pelt he was wearing. He then charges straight at Annunciata and latches onto her leg as she cries out in pain.
Oh!
She grabs her dagger and starts stabbing at it until it finally lets go, but she's bleeding heavily and close to death. Ulbabrab is also close to death and is still wielding nothing but his shield. The wolf that attacked Annunciata is now behind him, and Annunciata is trying to hand him a health potion that could save his life. Ulbabrab has a decision to make. Take the potion and save his life, or turn and face the wolf with only a shield. He hesitates for a brief moment before making his choice. He chooses glory. Ulbabrab turns towards the monster, lets out a battle cry, and swings his shield with all his might.
Ah!
It was a critical hit. With only his shield, he completely shatters the wolf's jaw. It collapses on the ground, changing back into a warrior as he dies. The battle was finally over.
That was a pretty ballsy move, Olbebrab.
Says Annunciata.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Says Axelrod. Ulbabrab gives a little smile and says,
You know I can't pass up the chance to take all the glory.
the party never did manage to fight the ice witches, but they also never forgot the time Ulbabrab took down a wolf with his shield like a total boss. The end. This story comes from Mordek. This is a story about a ghost and the heroes that try to help her. It's not spooky, but it is pretty funny. This is
Show and Fail.
Once upon a time, a party of heroes was taking a little break from adventuring and had gotten a room in a tavern for the night. It doesn't take long for them to notice that the room next door is magically locked up tight. So they decide to go and ask the host about it. But first, let's meet our heroes. First, we have Mordek, the dwarf fighter, a human cleric named Abril, a ranger named Enialis, or Eni for short, and a gnome wizard named Eliobel, who goes by Ellie. Together, they make up a group called Morgenstern. So our heroes head downstairs to talk to the host about the mysterious room.
Hey, what's up with that mysterious room upstairs?
Asks Mordek.
Oh, that's where the ghost lives.
She replies nonchalantly.
I'm sorry, the what?
Asks Mordek in disbelief.
The ghost.
Replies the host.
She used to terrorize the guests at night, and we couldn't get rid of her, so we just locked her in the room.
But why is she haunting the tavern?
Asks Mordek. The host goes on to explain to them that the ghost woman's home used to be located right where that part of the tavern sits. One day, her husband went out for a fishing trip and never returned. The poor woman died of a broken heart not long after. Now she waits every night for her husband to return, looking for him and mourning his loss. She then tells the group,
We found part of the ship her husband was on and showed it to her, but she didn't believe us, so we finally just had to seal her in the room.
That's awful.
cried Abril.
Well, if you think you can help her, be my guest. I still have to run a business, though.
Replied the host. The group retires to their rooms for the night, and Abril the cleric uses this time to pray to his goddess about how to help the poor woman's ghost. The goddess suggests they find real proof of her husband's demise to show her so that she can move on. And with that, the group made a plan to find the ship and bring back something really recognizable that she couldn't deny. They head out to sea, find the side of the wreckage, and go for a dive. They finally decide on the figurehead of the ship. Doesn't get more recognizable than that. When they return to the inn, they find the host to let her know what they have, but she refuses to open the door for them.
Sorry, guys. If I open that door, I have no way to seal it back up if it doesn't work.
Which means they needed to find a different way to get this giant figurehead up to the ghost. And when you can't go in the door, what's the only other option? That's right, the window. So the party goes and finds a ladder, and they lean it against the building under the window. So far, so good. Next, Abril and Eni try to hoist it up the ladder. Abril climbs up to the top, and Eni stands on the ladder near the bottom and tries to pass the figurehead up. But unfortunately, clerics and rangers aren't usually known for their strength, and the ship piece came crashing back down to the ground.
Hey, Mordek. Want to help us out here?
Calls down Abril. Mordek the fighter walks over and easily lifts the giant head. He hands it up to Eenie, who struggles a bit, but does manage to successfully pass the head on up to Abril, who seems to grab it from him with no problem. That is, until he tries to hold it up to the window. He says,
Excuse me, ghost lady? We have something to show you.
He watches as she walks towards the window, and he goes to hold the figurehead up for her to see when he loses his grip. The massive wooden head plummets down towards the ground, directly towards Mordec's head. He manages to dive out of the way at the last second as the figurehead lands with a loud thud.
You idiots! Are you trying to help a ghost or make a new one?
Yells Mordec.
You almost killed me! You're always doing these idiotic plans, and I'm always the one who pays for it. If you guys don't stop doing such dumb shit, I'm not helping anymore. I'm done.
Oh, come on, Mordec.
Calls out Abril.
Just pass it back up again, and I promise not to drop it on you this time.
Mordec gives an angry sigh, picks up the figurehead from where it had embedded in the earth, and passes it up to Eenie for the second time. Luckily, this time everyone manages to hold on to it, and they're able to successfully prove the death of her husband to the ghost. She agrees to leave the tavern and even leaves them a magic item as a thank you. But it definitely wasn't the last time Abril and Eenie almost got Mordec hurt with their planning skills. But that's a story for another week. The end. Thanks for listening. If you like D&D podcasts, which clearly you do, be sure to check out one of our favorites, All D20. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or anywhere else you listen. To submit a fail, visit our website at bedtimefairyfails.com or message me on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Bedtime FairyFails.
Man, you hear Mordec's talking about leaving again.
What's new?
God, he's always saying this every time.
Soap opera Mordec.
Yeah, man.
I can hear you guys. Hey,
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
Mordec.
Hey, Mordec.
hey, just for that, I'm leaving.
You're
for
leaving.
real.
Yeah.
Oh, you're leaving.
You're leaving
Yeah.
again.
Oh, no.
I'm leaving.
Yeah,
Watch
buddy.
me.
Again.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay.
Right now.
Bye.
Sure.
Okay.
Bye, Mordec.
I'm turning around.
I'm sure you are.
I'm walking. I'm
Bye.
walking. out
Bye,
the door.
Mordec.
Okay.
Oh, we can
okay,
see that.
Okay, bye.
It was good working with you. You'll find
Bye,
somebody
guys.
else, I'm sure, to
We'll
work
see
with.
you later.
Where you going, Mordec?
I just got to get my briefcase. I left it in my room. I just gotta,
Right, the
Oh,
briefcase.
okay,
Yes,
so you-
yes.
But after I get my briefcase, I'm leaving.
You have to go with us.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
No, I'm not going with you.
Oh.
I get my briefcase and I'm leaving.
Yeah, you have
Oh,
places
okay.
to be, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
go to the place with the briefcase. I'm leaving. Bye.
You gotta hurry. Yeah. You
Yeah.
gotta go.
Don't forget your shoes.
Hey, Mordec.
Oh yeah. Okay, my shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Want to walk with us?
Are you going that way?
We're going that way.
Are you sure it's not that big of a inconvenience?
Come on. I told you.
Okay, fine. But when we get there, I'm leaving you guys. As soon as we get to the.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Okay.
you.
You're
Okay.
gonna go.
Okay.
You can join us.
All right, then bye.
He ain't going anywhere.
Nope.